never get comfortable with your peace. It is something you should keep in mind, especially if you're on the run. And he got comfortable with his peace. Welcome back to my YouTube channel where we talk about comic books and stuff. And today we're picking up with where we left off with firepower. Owen and his wife had just survived the night being attacked by ninjas, and everything was about to go back to normal. The kids were awake, the kids were safe, and now they were heading to school, but his wife and Owen had a conversation. It's time for the kids to get training, and I want you to start doing it today. This could never happen again. And he agreed. And so they each went to work. She, being a cop, had her partner waiting outside to pick her up. He asked her what was wrong because she looked tired, and being sarcastic, she told him, yeah, I was attacked by ninjas last night. And as soon as he said this, you could see the glimmer in his eyes. He knows something. Owen, on the other hand, had the sad job of telling his kids. Of course, his son was excited, but his daughter, she believed the biggest threat to them was global warming. So Owen just assured her that this could be fun. It's something we could do together as a family. And she said, all right. After a long day of work, it was time for Owen to have lunch. And he went to his favorite spot in the whole city with his crispy Jordans on. He went there. And every single time he's alone, he couldn't help but think about the love of his life, or rather, his first love. Memories kept flooding in about his past, how she revealed the truth to him, how she confronted the masters of the temple, how there was a civil war after, how people died, and he had to step in, using the firepower to calm everyone, how she left, thinking he betrayed her, and how he found her body dead. He was going through it. But the thing is, so was his wife. She was a cop. Every single day was battle for her, especially today because one of the perps got his hand on a gun. But thankfully, she knew Kung Fu. She took the gun back. Back at home, though, we see him starting to train his kids. He was training them with love. They saw this as an exercise, as a joke. But it was no joke, because even when he gave them the opportunity to attack, he put all of them on their asses. His wife had to step in. But she noticed, how the hell am I keeping up with you? He was distracted, and she took advantage of it, knocking him out. Owen had a good life, but at the end of the day, if someone has a good life, there is always someone trying to bring them down. Because we see that his wife's partner was deadass working for the bad guys, or so it may seem. And at that exact moment, Ma had just gotten back to the fire temple. He reported that he failed to bring Owen back, and the master was disappointed, but he expected it, because as soon as he left, we see that he already had contingency plans in place. 4 of his best assassins were ready, and Lord knows they were going to cause chaos because Owen was not expecting them. Matter of fact, he was having movie night with his wife, but she noticed something. Something was off. I have never been able to land a hit on you. You're distracted. Why? And he fell silent, and she knew. Oh, you're thinking about her again. It's hard not to feel jealousy of a woman who your husband claimed to love with all of his heart. He fell silent, unknown to him that he was about to face a trial he was not ready for. Because even Ma was curious what was the next step. And the hard master simply brushed it off and told him, you don't need to be concerned of the affairs of this temple. Just focus on your teaching. Back with Owen though, things were off with him and his wife. So he tried his best to solve it as best he could, asking his wife out on a dinner date, and she reluctantly agreed. They went out that night, leaving his kids alone. But being kids, they invited their friends over. Unbeknownst to them, someone was watching from the shadows. Someone who wanted them, alive or dead. At the dinner though, Owen had to ball his heart and tell his wife not to feel this way, but she couldn't help it. She apologized for giving him the silent treatment. She knows it's not his fault. She understood he couldn't help who he thinks about, but it's still a hard thing to go by, especially believing that you're second choice. But he stopped her right there. You are not second choice. You are the woman I built a life with. Of course I loved her, but I love you too. She's the past. You're my future. Now stop giving me the silent treatment and let's have some of this good food, okay? And she was like, yeah, boy. So he went to the bathroom for a second. But that was where it all fell apart because someone was waiting for him. An assassin with a chain weapon, wrapping her chain around his neck. She tried to pull him off his feet and she got him. He was on the ground, but Owen was quick on his feet, trying to attack her, but so was she. She flipped over him, gaining the advantage and tossing his head to the ground. She was about to shank his eye with the kunai, but he was quick too, blocking the attack and remembering that he had the firepower, blasting her square in her chest with enough concussive force to put her on her back. But he remembered that he didn't come here alone. His wife was in danger. He ran as fast as he could, but he was too late. Kelly was in the arms of the enemy. The enemy asked, "Where is Jin? If you hurt her, I will kill your wife." But Owen simply made it clear, "I did hurt her, and you will never kill my wife." He had enough confidence in his wife because not only was she trained, but she always moved around with a gun. She could protect herself, shooting for the head, but he was quick. He was a Shaolin master after all. But this gave Owen enough time to launch his own assault, going directly for the head as well. But weight classes exist for a reason. He tried his best to face this behemoth while his wife got everyone else to safety. He moved like the wind, using the firepower to blast this man, but he was armored up to the teeth, and he was strong, knocking Owen aside. Owen wasn't weak, but this guy was on another level. Coming forward, he made it clear that we're supposed to take all four of you alive, and as soon as they heard four, they realized that their kid was in danger. They had to move, and so they left. Sadly enough, their kids were already under attack. They tried to hide, play it like nobody was home. But they had a kid that was not even meant to be there. So he simply came out and said, "Bro, chill. I ain't with this family, man." Homie didn't want any smoke, but Shorty did, tossing the plates at the assailant, plate after plate. And her brother, having just started learning how to fight, tried his best to attack, but he was knocked out. Matter of fact, he was bleeding. Seeing the blood drip from her brother's face, she got enraged, launching an attack on the assassins. It was honestly a great attempt, but these guys were professionals. Sadly, they could not defend against the firepower because their parents were here, and he was pissed. "You tried to hurt my family. You going to get it." He tried his best to draw the attention so his wife could protect the kids, but these guys were professional. They were here for both, launching an attack on his wife. Thankfully, she missed and was only bleeding a little. She assured her kids that everything was going to be fine, but the assassin laughed. "No, it's not. We're here for all of you, and we're going to take you one way or another." And as soon as Owen heard this, he said, "Screw this. You must not know I am the literal Fire Lord Ozai incarnate." He burnt everything, actually grabbing one of the assassins and lighting their face on fire. Moving swiftly, he grabbed the katana used to attack his wife and stabbed the assassin in her gut. One good turn deserves another. When he was done, everyone looked at him shocked. Well, he said, "Get in the car. Now we have to move." Driving away, he saw the behemoth in the middle of the street. Thankfully, he was swift enough to swerve. But he was not alone. Nah, the chain-wielding assassin was here as well. So he told his wife to drive, and he went out to do the Lord's work, summoning a large column of fire and blasting the behemoth directly in his chest, causing him to fall back. And while the chain assassin was distracted, his wife just put the car in reverse and fed her the bumper. He was shocked. It was like, "Honey, you the shit. Now take us out of here." Only to realize halfway through they had an extra kid. So they had to let him go. They had to find somewhere to lay low, and there was only one option. She trusted her partner with her back. Of course, she went to his house. And while they were there, everyone got the opportunity to take a breath. Owen, it was time to tell a story. It was time to tell his family the truth. He explained that when he was younger, he went to a place called the Temple of the Flaming Fist and learned martial arts. This place had developed a technique in turning the body's heat into instant heat, into flames that burned bright and pure. But over the ages, this technique was lost, and he was the only person able to learn it, so they needed him to learn this technique. They needed him to learn the firepower. And he summarized that that is what they need him for now. They wanted him to gain this ability, but from the shadows, someone just called him a fool. "You know nothing, Owen. You never have." This is one of his masters from the temple, and he was dripped out too, in freaking fly-ass Jordans. Yeah, boy.